Right, well, bloody hell, we'll give this a go then. This is the first time I'm using this new microphone module to record an episode of Music Club FM. Welcome back to the show. We're kicking off with some amazing new music this week. Last time I did this, last week, there was no... it was a bit old. Like, we were a little bit out of touch. We had a few old records on here. This week, though, we're back to it. We've got some real bangers on here. Starting off with, of course, the incredible return of Royal Blood. Trouble's Coming is all over mainstream radio at the moment, but I thought it would just be cool to celebrate the remix that's kicking around by Purple Disco Machine. They are amazing. More about it on the other side. This is the Purple Disco Machine remix of Royal Blood. Trouble's Coming.
I see someone but not somebody. If I could, then I would. If I could, then I would. If I could.
I love that remix because it reminds me of a time in music which was really exciting. There was this time, kind of late noughties, where bands were working with DJs and producers, and the electronic music at the time, it was kind of pre-dubstep, pre-house, it was pre any of that, and it was just kind of this fidget wobbly electro house, specifically coming out of Paris, that was heavily inspired by disco, and I think we might see a little bit of a return of that sound, which is always exciting. I'm just a big fan. I mean, when Royal Blood said they were coming back, they said they're actually heavily inspired by that. I think Justice, I think Mastercraft, I think Does It Offend You? Yeah. There's all sorts of really cool stuff that comes out of that sound, and I'm just really excited to hear the rest of the album at this point. Like, it's a great comeback for them. Really excited. Next, I want to move on to my favourite record at the moment. It is by my favourite artist of this year, Kenny Hoopla, featuring Nothing Nowhere. We did a WTF video about Nothing Nowhere last year. We had a lot of fun. I didn't really get him at the time. I think he has evolved his sound quite a lot. And I think that this new record by him, specifically featuring Kenny Hoopla as well, who I'm obsessed with, is wonderful. It's got this really amazing, dark, post-punk feel with this real emo influence. Like, it sounds like you could be listening to Bert from The Used. That's what Nothing Nowhere's doing with this. I think it's great. I love this record so much. The music video is brilliant as well, and you can go and see it. You can check it out on YouTube. The end credits is the best bit for me. I didn't realise what it was all about until right at the end. It's so good. Anyway, this record's amazing. This is the wonderful Blood by Nothing Nowhere and Kenny Hoopla.
The races on the dashboard, sneaking in the back door.
Next, we're talking about another artist who I've done a WTF video. Oh, 3 of these artists I've done WTF episodes for. The first 4 artists of today's show I've done WTF episodes for. Royal Blood we did last year, Nothing Nowhere we did last year. Bakar, one of the best discoveries for me personally in the last few years. I think he's an incredible artist, and I've been really excited by everything he's put out. I was a bit concerned he was going to go down a kind of boring route, but with this record, first time, he's back, and he's not showing any signs of slowing down. I think he's an exceptionally talented guy, and I'm really excited to see where he goes from here. Hopefully this is the first thing we're going to hear from him from like a debut album, but just a really exceptionally talented guy. Again, fits in with that camp of people like Kenny Hoopla, Black Star Kids, Gene Dawson. There's a whole plethora of artists around at the moment which come from this kind of almost hip-hop influence, but not making hip-hop. They're also very inspired by grunge and emo and garage. Not garage at all. That's a massive lie. They're not inspired by garage. They might be, but I don't think they are. I was trying to go for like a post-punk kind of thing. There's a Britpop thing in all of this. It's incredibly exciting anyway, and I think that Bakar fits into the British category of that, of people doing that UK side, and that's just brilliant. I'm never going to argue with that. So enjoy this. This is the incredible First Time by Bakar. Next, I want to talk about a new record from the incredible Wombats, this time teaming up with Peking Duck. I'll be completely honest with you, I know nothing about Peking Duck. They are from Canberra, Australia. Ruben Stiles and Adam Hyde. For anyone that needs to know, Ruben Stiles was the former bassist of indie rock group Rubicon from 2007 to 2010. They are from Canberra in Australia. This sounds to me like, again, amazing indie bands collaborating with electronic producers. I love it when this happens. This has happened many times before, but when it does, it's very exciting. Murph describes this as a big, nasty, stinky, horrible banger, basically. Love it. Adam Hyde said that it came very quickly from a session in Los Angeles about 4 months ago, and he says, shout out to legendary Wombats for getting jiggy with us on this one. We hope you all enjoy listening to it as much as we enjoy creating it. I bet that was a lot of fun for for them to put together. I think that Merv has a wonderful energy, and I can just see how that will come across in a studio as well. I think that'll be absolutely brilliant. This record, it's just a big dreamy pop record. It's just a big dreamy pop record. I absolutely adore it. This is Nothing to Love About Love by the Wombats and Peaky Doug.
So I had to leave it, and I found a way to fuck it up.
Next, we're moving into the incredible Django. I'm pretty sure it's Django, but David, Vincent, Jimmy, and Tommy. They're from London. They've been making music forever. It feels like they were put on the Reading and Leeds lineup like early days from when I first used to start going. Let's just have a look at when Django went on. 2012. They've been playing at Reading and Leeds for 8 years. That was a great year. Yeah, they've been around since 2009. They've been kind of pretty big and for a long time. I've never been a massive fan of them. This record, Spirals, cropped up on my new music playlist a few weeks ago, and I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it has that cool psychedelic-y feel to it. It's what I like to refer to as a cowboy record. It's a cowboy record. You put a horizon with a horse riding along like a desert, black and white. You have like the sun setting behind them, silhouette of the horse and a cowboy. It's a cowboy record. This is a cowboy record. It shouldn't speak for itself. Anyway, it's a banger. This is the wonderful Spirals by Django. Right, they were some big records, and now we're just gonna chill a bit. Now we're moving into the incredible new record by Shelly, a project by the wonderful Clairo and Claude. Clairo, an artist, again, I did a WTF episode about last year, 5. We talked about her music and how it wasn't doing anything for me. And then she released Bags, which was probably my favourite record of last year. She's just a stunning artist. Everything she does is brilliant. I love what she did with Wallows. I've recently gone back and listened to that remixed, and it sounds great. I love the record she did with Muramasa. I think she's a very, very talented artist. I don't know anything about Claude. I do know, however, that they're signed to Phoebe Bridgers' record label, and I'm a big fan of what she's put out this year. I think that's just really, really, really cool. This record, they're making what they describe as indie dream pop, and it was recorded over lockdown. And this is just like a slow, surfery, Super 8 kind of video record, isn't it? Like, it's just delightful. It's not one for this time of year. This should have been released in about August, I think, or June. It's a summer record. It just makes me want to go out to the beach so bad. Oh, lockdown can fuck off. Anyway, this is wonderful. This is the brilliant Steam by Shelly. The next record I want to play is by Holly Humberstone, who is from Grantham in England. Where's Grantham? Oh, right. Not a million miles from Nottingham. Shout out to the East Midlands. Grantham, England. Alt rock, pop rock, indie rock. Played Glastonbury introducing stage last year in 2019. Hello.
I've got the wrong number again, mate.
You got the wrong number again, mate. Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
That guy calls me all the time. Holly Humberstone. Debuted single Deep End on the 30th of Jan this year. Toured with Lewis Capaldi on his European tour this year. I just think if you're a fan of those incredible like female indie artists that are around at the moment, Martha Hill, Clairo, Biba Doobie, she just fits into that wonderful camp just so well. I think this record in particular slots in really well with that, and I just think that she's got a wonderful sound. And this chorus stays in your head. It's in there and it keeps going. I also love the beat. It's up tempo. I'm a big fan of up tempo music, so anything that's a bit more exciting and fresh and exhilarating I always like. I think it's very easy for a lot of singer-songwriters to just stay very slow and chilled, and it becomes the same thing. This one, she employs a drum machine, and she's got a cool guitar sound to it, and I just think it's really, really, really cool. This is the incredible Vanilla by Holly Humberstone.
We go in circles, pick me up, let me down.
Next, we're going to talk about an artist called Laurel. Laurel Arnell Cullen, better known as Laurel, she's from London. Oh no, she's from Southampton. Shout outs to Southampton, you skate bastards. Laurel is, she's a big, like, Lauren is her biggest fan. My girlfriend Lauren, she's a massive fan of Laurel. When she was listening to her album last year, she was just head over heels in love with it. She's just a really cool artist. And we were talking about this. When you really like an artist, right, and then they don't do anything for a while, and they come back and you see they've released a new record, you're like, I'm scared to listen to it because what if it's shit? But then when it comes out and it's better, that is an exciting feeling. That doesn't happen very often. That's very, very exciting. This record, I wasn't like a massive fan of her when I first heard her music. She was very much up Orange Street. This record, however, Screen Drive Faster, this is an amazing evolution of her sound. I'm really excited to see where she takes it from here because it's a wonderful, wonderful record. This came out back at the kind of start of August. She signed to Communion Group, which I believe is the record that Community... Is that the record that Community's on? Like Community Festival run? I don't know. Anyway, she's a really cool artist anyway, and I really, really, really love this record. Has that wicked driving beat. It sounds really vintage. It sounds really fresh. Don't know how they do it, but when they do it well like this, I'm happy. This is Screen Drive Faster by Laurel.
Breeze through the valley of the stars. Run like a river through the heart.
Okay, now we're switching it up completely. When I heard this record, I mean, I'm a big fan of Ghetts. As a rapper, I think he's like, you have Kano, you have Skepta, you have Wiley. I know we don't talk about Wiley anymore. You have JME, you have Dizzy, you have all those guys. Ghetts is like probably your rapper's favourite rapper. I think he is incredible. He is someone who has a very distinctive sound. First time I heard it was in 2004, I think, on Kano's Typical Me. He's featured on all sorts of other bits like Bad After We by Shy FX, which was one of my favourite records of last year, as was Class of Deja, which he also featured on with Kano last year as well. Just a really, really talented guy. This time, tagging up with Birmingham's JK and South Africa's Moonchild Sinelli on the record Mozambique. This record is like no other record I've ever heard before. And I love the switch up at the end. The beat is just right up my street. The production's incredible. I love all the vocals. I love this trio of artists working together is incredibly exciting. And they produced just a fantastic record. Just brilliant, absolutely love it. This is the incredible Mozambique by Ghetts.
I don't know, bro, I don't know, speak the streets, bro. Only way, dog, cops don't know, pay the streets, though.
Next, we're going across the seas to a former jazz musician from New York turned rapper, Laurel Thomas, better known to the world as Pan Amsterdam, one of the coolest names ever. He was apparently found and discovered by Iggy Pop after they collaborated in 2019. Iggy Pop discovered Pan Amsterdam through a close mutual friend and kick-ass music critic. So we're doing a little something dopeness on a track together. That project should be out sometime in 2019. It's fun working with your elders. I heard this sound and I thought it was really cool, so I added it to my library. It crops up every so often and I go, this record is really cool. It sounds like a Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 kind of old 80s hip-hop record, but it's so cool. One of the opening lines I see on both sides, like Chappelle, is reference to Frank Ocean's Chanel, which is also an amazing record as well. But this, it's just like nothing else I've ever heard. It's just like nothing else I've ever heard. I think the bass sounds wicked. I think the whole beat is brilliant. I love the delivery. I think it's really, really cool. This is the incredible Carrot Cake by Pan Amsterdam.
My girl dressed like a girl, cowboy hats, boots, and Spanish pearls.
Right, we have 4 more records, and we're going into a part of this next record is kind of, I think, where Lauren's going to try and tune out, but a lot of people who don't like Bring Me the Horizon will be tuning out. Those that do like Bring Me the Horizon, wow, that new album of theirs is so cool. I really like what they've done with it, making only 9 tracks. They've been kind of drip feeding us records for the last 18 months. It feels to me like they stopped after Ammo and then just kind of carried on making music and have just thrown together like a double EP rather than an album, and I think that that's really, really exciting. This time, collaborating with people like Youngblood, people like Nova Twins, and of course on this record, Baby Metal. I think that this record in particular just sounds like a Chemist record, it sounds like a Prodigy record, it sounds like a Pendulum record. It is well exciting. Metal, drum and bass, it works really, really, really well together, and it's super, super exciting. This is one of the album tracks that stands out for me. as does the record with Nova Twins, as in one by One. I think that they're just a really cool band, and I'm really, really happy with what they've done. They shouldn't have went with Youngblood because I can't stand the man, but apart from that, I think that every record is really cool, and it's an amazing evolution from Ammo. But it doesn't feel like it has to one-up Ammo because it's not a proper album. These kind of 9-track things, I think people should put out way more often. Get it out your system. We all need it. It's a new world. We just need more music more regularly. Anyway, enjoy this. This is the incredible Kingslayer featuring Baby Metal by Bring Me the Horizon. Going into one of my favourite and most underrated acts of all time is the incredible Lost Under Heaven. I saw them play at Reading, I think it was 2017. Their debut album, also entitled Lost Under Heaven. Is that right? Was it entitled Lost Under Heaven? No, Spiritual Songs for Lovers to Sing. We're going to have our Jimmy Fallon moment here. Spiritual Songs for Lovers to Sing, the debut album by Lost Under Heaven, is one of my favourite albums of all time. I think it's absolutely spectacular. Their follow-up album last year it had really good moments, had moments that I didn't enjoy as much, but the records they did release I was obsessed with. This new record of theirs, Alpha Omega, they're so good. I don't understand why people aren't going mental for them. They're so good. Ellery has one of the most unique voices out of anyone I've ever come across. Those that are a fan of Woo Life or Woo Liff, he was the vocalist of that band in 2010. Just a fucking amazing band. I just wish that they got more recognition because they just are one of the best ever. So anyway, if you like this record, go back and listen to some of their old stuff because this one is amazing, and their first album is just spectacular from start to finish. Completely bizarre, and I love them. Hopefully I get to see them again soon when we're allowed to go and see gigs and stuff again. Enjoy this. This is Alpha Omega by Lost Under Heaven.
Is it time for us to face our consequence?
Penultimate record. We're checking out the latest record by Mac DeMarco and Mid. Now Mac DeMarco is one of these guys who plays guitar and everyone seems to absolutely adore. I think he's a really talented guy. I've loved a lot of his records in the past. Last year, when he played All of Your Yesterdays at Glastonbury, that was like my live performance of the year, especially when he just gets his guitar out and he just it's so good. It's so good. Perhaps we'll insert a clip of that here. Anyway, this time he's back collaborating with French producer Mid from France, from Lille, Quentin Lepoutre, probably. He's a house R&B and techno DJ. Not a lot really else to say about him, but again, amazing electronic artist working with alternative, incredible guitar people. I absolutely adore it when this happens. This record's called Moving Men. Apparently they kind of hooked up and decided to just make a record together one day and decided to make a record about the people that move houses. They decided that they needed a bit more clout. So there you go, Moving Men by Mac DeMarco and Mid. Enjoy.
Just me and him.
And the last record that I want to play today is by the incredible Jadu Heart. They've just recently released a new album. This song here, Burning Hour, sonically it's obnoxious how great it is. I love the sound, the synth work in it. It's just so up my street. They were the last gig I went to. I went to saw them at Scala in probably May the 15th or something. Literally a week before lockdown, and they were brilliant. It was like £6 or £8 or something, and they were absolutely amazing. It was packed. It was an amazing venue. They were so tight. Their sound was incredible. Every record just kept smacking it, and I knew like one record. So every so often you go to a gig to go see an artist with one song out there, and you come away going, "Fucking hell, that was amazing." This was one of those for me. I don't know much about Jadu Heart, but I just love this record. This is Burning Hour. Thank you so much for tuning in again this week. I am in the process of trying to get to a place where we can get WTF back on the road. I'm trying to get as much time to research people as I possibly can. We'll probably try and go for a bit of a December launch when we know a little bit more about what's happening with COVID and if next year's going ahead. We shall see. But in the meantime, I will leave you with the incredible Burning Hour by Jadu Heart. Cheers.